Hello and welcome to the Outside Line podcast. I'm Peter.
And I'm Emma.
And we're here to talk about all the serious and silly aspects of Formula One and other motorsports. So Emma, can I predict this week's attack mode?
I mean, you could try.
Is it daylight savings time?
No, because that's not motorsport related.
Well, yeah. Well,
but it did mean I get one less hour sleep.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, in most of Europe, the clocks went forward an hour, which meant that the Japanese Grand Prix was on it. Yeah, you'd have to get up even earlier than the normal. Yeah, I was not happy about that.
I was very clever and I preempted it and I went to bed an hour earlier. See? So I had just the same amount of sleep that I would normally have.
Clever. Anyway, so, I mean, what did you think of the racing in general?
Again, we're preempting the end of the show here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just wanted to flag up at the start, right, that I'd say both were pretty straightforward races, decided by, like, one main incident.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I mean, hopefully, you know, so usually, the double weekends, they're really... There's a lot of things to discuss, but not so much this one, hopefully.
Yeah, this is probably going to be just as short as last week's episode.
I hope so. Let's start with a weekly noise, and I wanted to talk about F1 babies. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. What, Fernando?
No, I mean Max whinging.
Oh.
Yes. No, I do mean Daddy Alonso is actually a daddy now.
He's El Padre for real.
Yeah.
He's always been a daddy in my heart.
Anyway, it's the next generation. We'll see them in F1 in 17 years. Yeah,
I mean, we'll probably see Robin Raikkonen earlier than that, so that'd be nice.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I think baby Alonso and baby Verstappen will be on the grid together, maybe.
Yeah. Should we talk about Max?
I think it might be best left for after race discussion, maybe.
Yeah. I guess it's all tied up together.
It's all related, isn't it? So yes, but he has been very outspoken again, as usual, because that's what he is. And a lot of people have turned against him again, which makes me like him more again, as I do. But the other thing he did was he made a journalist leave the press conference on Thursday. This Guardian journalist is the one who asked him in the final race about Barcelona and laughed at him.
That's what Max says. That he had a smirk or a smile as if he was like laughing at him, and he didn't like it. I don't know. I'm sort of torn between one hand. I do think F1 is dominated by the British press. And they don't like Max, and I'm sure they were sort of smirking at him.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I'd say 100% of that press room wanted to ask him that question at that time. So, it is sort of valid.
It is valid to ask that question because, let's be real, it probably did lose him the championship.
Yeah, I think Max would say, right, that like there's so many other things where he lost points here and there that, like, you know, isolating just this one thing. But I mean, that was so clear that it was Max's temper.
As an incident, it was kind of massive. The rest is like, yeah, okay, ebbs and flows over the season or whatever. But the fact that he lost it by 2 points is, you know, and okay, you can argue there's several other places where those 2 points could have been made up, which obviously there is because it's only 2 points. But it was a pretty big incident.
Yeah. I have a theory of why Max is so upset about it. Is that I think that GP blames himself for that incident. You know, that he was the one who told Max to give the place back when he didn't need to, and he blames himself for what Max did next, which, a bit funny. And I think that's why GP was so emotional at the final race last year, and so Max is now a bit protective of GP. And doesn't like when the journalists keep bringing it up.
Maybe that could be a good theory. That's another one marked down for Conspiracy of the Year award, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I think I would hope that, you know, someone with a logical brain who is an engineer like GP would know that you can't sort of control what other people do.
Yeah, but also he shouldn't be blaming himself for what Max does.
You can't blame yourself for an action another person has taken.
Yeah. Anyway, but I guess I don't know. I'm just speculating, really.
Yeah.
Speaking of speculation, do we owe Jonathan Wheatley an apology.
We might owe Jonathan Wheatley an apology because it hasn't actually been confirmed that he's gone to Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And I do feel very bad for saying it because it does seem like there's actual genuine reasons why he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like I say, he needs to be protected at all costs. So I hope whatever it is that he's okay. So, yeah. Poor Jonathan Wheatley. I feel bad. Thankfully, no one listens to this podcast. So
Yeah, thankfully.
You'll never know.
So, yeah, it's because, we promised to watch the free practices so other people don't have to, but I didn't watch them this week, so.
I watched FP1 and 2.
Okay, fair enough.
I recorded them and watched them. Oh my god. Nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Jack Crawford was in
Yes.
FP1 for Fernando
Yes.
Alonso. He did one lap with the aero rake on, and then the car did not move again.
Oh, no.
So they interviewed him in FP2, and they were like, how was your experience? And I was thinking, does this count?
I think it doesn't. Like they have to do a certain number of laps, don't they, to
Yeah.
get the super license point? But he wouldn't need it, would he?
No, but I mean, like for the actual teams.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they have to run a rookie in 2 sessions for each car.
I'd say that's fine, right?
I mean, I hope so.
Well,
but,
I mean, it's just,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Stroll and Fernando don't really actually want to be in the car anyway, so
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
happy if someone else is in it.
They have to give up another session. But yeah, that's what I was wondering is like, does it count for the actual teams running a rookie? But
yeah, I guess we'll
I
find
guess
out. later in the
we'll
season.
find out.
The other thing I saw from the free practices was Lando had some battery problems. I don't know if that was in the FP3 or...
Lando had an absolutely torrid time. It was all 3 practices. He just did not get much running at all. So he was very much on the back foot for the entire weekend, which was everyone's excuse for him. And I'll stand by that one too. In FP2, they had like an interesting graphic. So they were showing like the mini sectors.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And it was really interesting to watch, apart from I did notice that the colour purple that they used was slightly different to the actual colour purple that they use. But they never showed it again. That graphic did not turn up for quali. It did not turn up for the race. It was just in FP2. If it turns up in future races, maybe, but a bit useless having it in FP2.
I have a conspiracy about that as well, is that they only show that to Crofty so it looks like he knows what he's talking about.
Look, see, they do get timings from like the mini sectors and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have much else because I'll be honest, I am struggling this year.
Yeah.
Just to get interested. So
Good.
Let's move on to quali.
Yeah, on that note, let's move on to quali. So, well, to try to keep you interested, they did change the rules of quali ever so slightly.
I'll be honest, I don't know what it meant.
Yeah, there was a limit on how much energy they had to harvest, which in principle means that there should be less superclipping, which is, I think, what everybody, well, at least the drivers and the fans are really unhappy with.
Doesn't mean anything to me, mate. Honestly. It's just words. They don't actually mean anything. Just made up.
Yes.
I just want the cars to go fast.
Yeah.
And they're not going fast.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that they go fast and then slow down, which is bizarre. Well, I think we'll definitely talk later, especially with what happened to Behrman. We'll talk about the energy deployment and the energy systems a bit more later. But let's just go through quali. And, normally it's Williams, Cadillac, Aston Martin, written in stone. But actually, poor Ollie Behrman.
Oh, it just wasn't this weekend.
No, it definitely wasn't. Yeah, he had some problem or something, and didn't get through. So Williams actually made it into Q2 for once.
Yes, but it wasn't Alex Albon who was very sassy on the radio.
Yes, so he had
the car.
Interesting cryptic message, right? That I
don't think it was that cryptic.
No, it wasn't actually. Like once you figured out what so that
he said, I've complained about this for ages, but it's just my driving style or something like that. And then he explained it after that they lose all the time in the straights, and it's like there's nothing about his driving style that can affect that because you're just going in a straight line. So yeah. But according to the team, it's him and not the car.
Yeah, but that's exactly that. It sort of implies that they were saying, "No, it's your driving style that's the problem," whereas obviously not. So yeah. I mean, what is happening at Williams to be saying stuff like that? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like St. Vowles has lost it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They made a shit car and now he's just lost grip of reality.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Q2. Well, okay, Russell had some problems, but he makes it through. But somebody who didn't make it through, two of your favourites didn't make it through.
I know.
In Max and Liam.
Yeah.
So the ones who got knocked out were Verstappen, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Colapinto, and Sainz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Max, poor Max.
I know, mugged off by Arvid Lindblad.
Yeah, Lindblad was. I mean, it's like they always try to make a big deal that it's a racing bull that knocked out the Red Bull, but I mean it's
I was gonna say Liam did that to him as well in like one of his first races, so it's just a thing that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, it did mean that the guests this week in Q3 are Gasly, Bortoletto, and Lindblad. Gasly, I guess, is always there. Is regularly.
Gasly's been quite consistent, but we do have to caveat with the fact that the Alpine has the Mercedes engine and is therefore cheating.
Yes. But yeah, really good for Bortoletto and good for Lindblad as well to be in there. Then, my conspiracy last week that, the Mercedes are playing us for mugs and, pretending to have problems. I mean, Russell, he was a whole lot faster in Q3 than he had been previously. And I was like, okay. They've turned the engine up, or they've told him, you can drive properly. But actually, he didn't. Antonelli put in a really good first lap, and then it turned out nobody could go any faster with their second one. So Antonelli, second week in a row, he's pole sitter.
He's shrugged that sort of heaviness off now. Like first pole, first win, done. Now you can just relax and get into it and smash them out.
Yeah, no, he did look far more comfortable than Russell did, and his laps were much nicer. Anyway, so it was Antonelli, then Russell, then Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc, then Lando Norris, and then who's else? Then we've got Hamilton, Gasly, Hadjar, Bortoletto, and Lindblad are your top 10. So yeah, I mean, interesting. The McLaren not qualified, Ferrari there. It's hard to tell exactly where they are in relation to each other.
Yeah, I think without the myriad problems that McLaren are having, they are probably ahead of Ferrari.
Yeah, I think
it's just
that
right,
yeah.
They're having so much trouble with the power unit and everything that it's kind of masking how good the car actually is.
Great, so let's move on to the race itself.
Did you see any build-up? Were you up in time for some build-up?
I fast-forwarded through it in like 3 times speed. So, yeah, I did notice that, last week we had the King of Spain, apparently, although I didn't see him. This week we had a princess.
Yes.
Not just Princess Peach, but, an actual princess.
A real princess. Yeah, no, she's always there. She loves it, I think.
Yeah,
or she's just like the minor royal that they send. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
it's like a major one.
I did notice Crofty said, and there's like Princess somebody in the expensive seats, and the seats looked like total shit. But, I mean, they're probably a good place on the track, but
it's not about the quality of the seat; it's about the quality of the place. Is what you pay for.
Yeah, even then, probably, I don't know. It's probably like the middle of the straight. Probably not much is happening there anyway.
That's the way you want to sit, apparently.
Is it? Okay.
That's where people pay the most. That's where people pay the most money, to be like opposite pit lane, opposite the podium.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yes, but Princess Peach, I think, was also there because the Mario people were there.
Mario people were there, but I guess they heard that Charles thinks it's like Mario Kart. Yeah. But they had this like intro bit, and it was done by Jack Black.
I know. I fast forwarded through it, and I was like, "What could that possibly be?"
You should have. It was funny. It was really funny because he actually said this isn't Mario Kart.
Okay.
And I was like, it is though. Stop. We have the mushroom boost now. But it was just Jack Black saying words about fast cars, I guess.
Yeah. And should we talk about the ugly ass Spirit of the Wolf bullshit that Mercedes were pushing?
Oh my god.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's just weird. It feels like another like self-congratulatory thing from Toto Wolff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To go, I'm gonna pick this thing you could do a concept of a wolf god if you want, because that's what it is. Like, Japanese, like, wolf god.
Okay.
Like, all right, mate. Yeah, that's what it's meant to be. So, yeah, just really, really weird choice. And then, like, the photographs and the merch and stuff. I sent you that picture of Kimmy with the balaclava on.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like an actual thug. like he was going to rob you for your purse. On the back of Tesco. It was scary. So
yeah, they were awful,
just weird. It's odd choices. Mercedes make odd choices. The race suits as well were a choice. They look like they'd been sort of stood in the middle of like a flower storm or something. Like white dust all over them. It's really fucking weird.
Good stuff. Yeah. Let's move on to the race itself. And yeah, tyre strategy. Everybody agreed to be on the medium except Bottas, who stuck on the hard for some reason. But,
good for him, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, so that's good. So pretty much everyone was going to do medium and then switch to hard. So
yeah,
not much going on there, unfortunately. So let's get to the start. And actually, both the Mercedes had pretty bad starts.
They were asleep.
Yeah,
I think
Antonelli's was way worse. It turned out.
Jimmy's was awful.
Yeah,
it was so awful. I wrote a note about it.
Yeah,
very few notes were written this weekend, but
he lost.
That was one of them.
He went from P1 to P6 basically. And as we know, P6 is basically as low as you can go if you're in Mercedes or McLaren or Ferrari. Yeah, so yeah, and Piastri had a good launch. Leclerc,
very good
as
start.
usual. Ferrari has a good launch.
Mm-hmm.
So Oscar got in the lead. Leclerc second. Lando eventually passed Russell for P3. Then you've got Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli. So yeah, I mean. Well, it's always, that's the one sort of saving grace of F1 at the moment, is that the Mercedes have terrible starts. So
yeah,
it's just a question of like, well.
Yeah, but they always make it back up, which is annoying.
That's my next point, which is basically, that's what we had for the next sort of 17 laps, which is the Mercedes kind of slowly making the way back through them. So Russell... Yeah, he gets past Lando, he gets past Leclerc, and then he actually does overtake Piastri for the lead, but Piastri kind of immediately takes it back. And then he's stuck behind Oscar after that. Antonelli, similar, he gets past Hamilton, but then, he has trouble overtaking Norris, eventually does, and then we see the leapfrogging with Charles, sort of passing, then getting repassed, so... Similar story to the previous races. And then we get to the pit stops. So it's my note here was that basically again we have I'm confused by the undercut overcut because it seems here what you have is overcut is better for a couple of laps. So it seems to take if you switch onto the hards, it takes them quite a few laps to get going. Mm-hmm. So you do want to stay, if you're able to, you do want to stay out longer, but not too long.
Yeah.
So for example, like Lando, he's just behind Leclerc. He pits quite early. No, sorry, he pits one lap before Leclerc, but Leclerc comes out way ahead of him just because the overcut was really good, and 1 lap difference isn't enough to kind of make it up from getting the heat in your tires and stuff. But Lando does eventually get fastest lap a few laps later, so the hard does eventually switch on. So, yeah. It's weird. It's confusing. Then lap 18, Piastri pits, which gives Antonelli free air, and it turns out he's really fast. He's taking big chunks out of Russell's lead at that time. And then lap 22, Russell pits, and then we get a big crash.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, what happened here?
Basically what happened was Superclipping.
Yeah.
Colapinto was ahead of Behrman, and he was going down the straight, and so was Behrman. And Colapinto's car slowed suddenly, and Behrman's did not.
Yeah.
And so Colapinto didn't really get out of the way very much, and Behrman just couldn't stop, and he just went straight into the wall. Yeah,
we heard a lot of talk on closing speeds. And apparently, basically, Behrman was going
It was 40 miles an hour.
40 miles an hour faster.
40 kilometres an hour, sorry.
Yeah.
kilometers. Yeah,
I'm not sure. Actually, I thought it happened at Spoon, which there's no real straight before that. So that it was very. I was very confused at why Colapinto was so slow. But I think in general, it's just this energy thing just kicks in.
Like
sometimes.
I think he just cut in before
Yeah.
anyone expected it.
Yeah,
basically.
before they expected, or before Behrman's car did the same thing. Like they're all.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they use AI, and the AI is just
100% they use AI, and it's shit.
and it's supposed to sort of tailor it to each individual driver or something. But I bet it I think that makes it more dangerous because we get this situation where like that's a huge differential in speed. Anyways, poor Behrman. Yeah, he avoids crashing into the back of Colapinto, but he goes off track, and then he slides into the barrier and has a big hit. They said it was 50 Gs, which, to be honest, I mean, you should be a pancake with 50 Gs. Yeah. Like, that's a huge amount. And he was, like, they showed this clip of him, like, he got out of the car okay, but then it looked like he was limping. He was limping, and, like, just the little picture we saw looked like he was sort of collapsing. He was leaning on the marshals, but I think he was actually just wanted to sit down. But so it looked really quite bad. But he was taken for X-rays, and they said he was fine. They interviewed him later. So
they said his knee was a bit sore, basically. So good job we've got like a month off. Yeah, really, so he can rest up.
Yeah. So, he's very happy.
Poor kid.
Yeah, but the new regulations, they claim another victim. Yeah, but what it does mean for the race is that Antonelli, Hamilton, and Gasly get to have a cheap pitch stop. So they get to pit under the yellows when everyone's going a lot slower. And it does mean that Antonelli comes out back in P1 where he started.
Yep.
Hamilton, weirdly, he only comes out like P4. And they said it was because he was slow coming out of the pit lane or something like that. He wasn't pushing as hard as he could. Very odd. Because I was thinking, like,
maybe his car decided that he had to go slow.
Yeah, I think that somebody mentioned that sometimes you reach a limit, and you can't. Yeah, very odd. I guess nobody really understands what's going on. Regulations. I don't know. Something was also weird with Hulkenberg. It seemed like he waited a lap too long before pitting. Really, really strange. But I mean, I guess it did.
Maybe he was just trying for a bit of an overcut, but like gambling on the safety car staying out a bit longer.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe just the way it came out, or maybe the team. I don't know. It was really odd that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really affected his race actually in the end.
No.
Then we got some self-pity / angry message from Russell.
I laughed. I like seeing him suffer. It made me, as soon as the safety car came out and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a terrible look. And Toto was like, shut up, George.
Yeah.
As you do, because you meant to tell George to shut the fuck up. He was forecasted a win. Don't you know? Yep. He was forecasted a driver's championship.
God, I love it.
Bloody Ollie Behrman had to go and crash.
I mean, it's way too early, but I really want Kimi to win World Championship. I bet Toto does as well, because Toto can be like, you know, we don't have to pay you all that much, Russell, or you know, we'll bring Max in now. Next thing we're talking about is the restart. Russell, again, he says that Mercedes trained like a go point or something.
Yeah.
But whether Kimi did what he expected or not, it didn't seem to help him because he got passed by
If
Hamilton.
I was Kimi, I would do something different just to fuck George off.
Well, yeah. Also, it is his main competitor, so why should he help?
Yeah, why should he?
Yeah. But then Mercedes, you never know. They have,
they probably like make them agree, like sign a contract that you have to go in the right spot where they tell you to.
Exactly.
And George would do that because he's a good boy, but I just think Kimi would just be like, nah.
Yeah. Anyways, so Hamilton did get past Russell, which was good. Antonelli just goes off in the distance, I think. As we saw earlier, once he's in free air, clean air, he just gone. He's fast.
Yeah.
Hamilton, at this stage, I was thinking this is a podium for sure. Because he was attacking Piastri at one point just after the restart. So, yeah, whatever he did, maybe it was a mistake, like take too much out of his tires or something. But yeah, as we'll come to next, basically, it doesn't go well for him pretty soon after this. Should also mention Verstappen. he's made his way up to what, like P8 or so?
P8.
But he's behind Gasly, and
Mhm.
basically the two of them are just fighting till the end of the race.
Just stayed there.
Just couldn't get past him, and yeah.
Yep.
But let's get to the Russell rules, as we called them last year. But Russell basically catches up to the back of Hamilton. They're fighting, but them fighting allows Leclerc to get past, which is nice. Then Russell has this weird sudden drop of speed. Again, battery thing, apparently like if you use up too much battery, it just sort of kicks in and tries to make up what it lost. So if you use extra one lap, it takes it out of the next lap. So, like, I mean, there must be some way for them
it's
to
so
override
stupid.
that or something, like, mad.
Because he just it was like he stopped out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it was just this battery thing kicking in.
Yeah. Mad.
Like, oh my god.
But it did let us get proper Ferrari action again. Ferrari and Ferrari action.
Yeah. That won't last. They'll pick someone soon.
I don't know if they really need. Well, it sort of resolved itself naturally here because Hamilton just completely fell away. Leclerc gets past him, then Russell gets past him, and then on the penultimate lap, Lando gets past him. Even though there's a little bit of the leapfrogging, or the seesaw as they're calling it, we should have written to them and told them no.
Yeah,
it's called leapfrogging. But yeah, Hamilton just completely fades away, and then. Yes, Russell and Charles are fighting then for P2 and P3, sorry. And Russell does, pass him, but Leclerc does a very nice outside line retake.
Yeah, was nice.
Really nice. Even though, we're used to the leapfrogging, it's still, you still gotta do it. And actually then Leclerc holds him off for the rest of the race, so very nice.
See, it's an overtake if it sticks, it's leapfrogging if it doesn't.
Yeah, but you don't know
so it was
for
a nice
couple of laps. You don't know for a couple of laps later.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then that's basically everything that happened. And it finishes Antonelli, another win.
Another win.
And Piastri, then Leclerc is the podium. And then we have Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Gasly, Verstappen, Lawson, and Ocon.
Yeah.
So the Wolf Cub, he is...
He's leading the championship. He's the youngest ever championship leader.
Exactly, yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
We get Piastri. He's in, he's cracking wise. I'm sure you hated it, but...
I did, yeah.
He's talking, he's like... Well, I think he makes the same joke twice, which is like, well, we're fast when we start. But he also says to Charles in the cool-down room, he's like, I know what you mean by the mushroom now. Which, like, if you didn't know what the fuck, if you didn't know Mario Kart, you'd be like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was happy to, to finish a race.
Yeah, but to start a race.
To start a race and finish a race and get a podium. So
yeah. The fact that he did one lap and I was like, yes, well done, Oscar.
Well, speaking of finishing races, Alonso
yes,
finally
he held on.
He finally finished the race. Yeah.
To what end? What nerve damage has that man got now?
Oh yeah, poor guy. Anyway, Russell, should we? He wasn't that happy,
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Of course he wasn't happy. He's such a knob. I really, really, really don't like him.
He was screwed by the safety car.
I don't care if he was screwed by the safety car. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it goes. Didn't he benefit from a wrongly timed safety car like 2 races ago? So he can't really complain.
Yeah. Well, he does.
Yeah, of course he does, because he's George.
Speaking of people who are not complaining, Max says he's not even angry anymore. He's gone past it. It's like it's the stages of grief. Yeah,
he's got to it. It's in depression now.
Yeah, normally with people who are like, it either goes they go into a sort of Zen state where they're like, the stuff, or you go into Max, which is like contemplating just quitting F1 forever. It's like
but it's got to the point that even Yoss is like, no, I think he's going to retire.
Yeah.
So
well, he's certainly signaling that pretty strongly. Is that like because they interviewed him? He's like, what do you need to think about? And he's like, life.
Life.
Gotta think about life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, he has got a point. Like, if you are so utterly depressed in your job that you are like, I need to sit and think about my life, then yes, you probably should quit. That's advice for everyone, by the way. You know, find something that you actually enjoy doing, or that works for you. But if it is affecting you to the point where you dread going in every day,
yeah, well, he
like
said
Max.
Again, Max is very honest in his interviews, which does
I
sometimes
appreciate that.
get him punished and so get him in trouble. But
Yeah.
he is quite fair. Like he says, I really like working with the team. I like going in. It's just when the rules are like this and when you're not doing well, I think he just sees like, what is the point of continuing?
Yeah.
He's kind of already done everything he needs to do in F1, like in terms of winning. So I think it's easier for him to be like, yeah, like I can walk away. Whereas I think if you're like Charles or somebody,
Charles can't walk away. No, not until he gets that championship.
yeah, Max. I mean, really. I mean, of course, the car can improve, and he might be back there fighting. He did say it's not that I'm angry about fighting the midfield. He says like I've done that before in my career, and it's been fine. It's just I think he just doesn't like the regulations and what they've done.
Yeah, they've taken the bit that he found the most fun and just ruined it. So what he's left with is like media duties, which he fucking hates, and then the other bits that go in the factory and doing the training and stuff that he probably already like kind of likes, but it's not the best bit. The racing, like he lives for racing.
Yeah.
And they've made that not fun for him. So if he knows that he'd have more fun, in his sim rig at home, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah. Well, he does get paid.
Especially he has the money to do that. Yeah, but I don't think money matters though.
No, I think he's got
you can't
enough
say like, oh, well, you're being paid like millions of pounds, so you should be happy in your job. That means fuck all. If you're depressed, you're depressed. It doesn't matter how much money you're getting.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so
if
what
he
does he
wants
get paid?
to get rid of something, it's on like.
Is it like? I want to say like
It's
30
like 30 million
or
something. Yeah.
It's hard to turn that
I know.
down. Like the
It is
difference
hard
that
to
can
turn
make
that
to your
down.
family and their future and everything. It's like
Yeah, but he's got like a private jet and a yacht and stuff. He could probably sell that.
yeah.
I mean, if he is struggling to spend it, he could like spread it around a bit. Do you know what I mean? Invest in this podcast.
Find his biggest fans. Yeah, let's finish by first mentioning the happy people. So Gasly again, in the points, getting points.
Yeah.
Best of the rest. Lawson, I guess, happy to get points. Ocon as well. He was kind of overshadowed by Behrman. Well, the past season and the past couple of races. So it's good for him to get up there.
Finally got a point.
So yeah, fair play. And then let's end F1 by do you think they will change the rules? Because I think there is like a quite like groundswell of the fans and the teams.
Meetings. There's meetings sort of scheduled, I think, and I think now that we've had like a big accident, that thankfully was fine, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna have to look at that at least. I don't know what they can do about it because I don't understand it. So, but apparently it's that like the teams and the drivers don't agree. Like I think all the drivers agree that it's fine. Like they want to change the rules, but none of the teams do. But it's probably because the team's like, oh, we've built all this engine in this car for this thing. Like if you change it now, we're gonna go over the cost cap or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if you do a big massive rule change, then you should be allowed more money in the cost cap, surely.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully they come to some.
It would fuck over smaller teams like Cadillac and like Audi, who probably don't have as much money to throw at it. But
yeah, no, I think it would have to be quite a brutal change that like, you're not allowed to harvest energy in these places, or they cut the amount of, or maybe they up the. But thing is, I don't know if these things are possible, like technically. Like once you've made the engine that's like 50-50 combustion and electric, you can't then switch it to like 70 combustion. So Yeah, but they have to do something because, as you said, like it's caused a crash now. Everyone hates it anyway. It looks
Mm-hmm.
really bad for the sport to be. Yeah, I mean, if they can just get rid of the super clipping at the end of the
Yeah.
straights, and also I think Charles was saying that basically you get punished for being faster in the previous corner. So if
Yeah.
you carry more speed through a corner before a straight, normally that's like the best, like that's really good driving. And here it
Mm-hmm.
just means that you get to the clipping faster, and so it hurts you
Yeah.
more. So yeah, I mean that cannot. I mean, like that's not
You
racing.
can't.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm supportive of getting more of the hybrid in there and getting more of that technology.
I'm
And
not. I'm on Team Max and
you
Team
hate the
BTEC
planet.
Max. I hate the planet, and I think bring back the big massive engines.
They'll be rolling coal soon enough if you get your way.
I don't give a shit. If they care so much, they'd find ways to not have to fly around the world with everything and do emissions that way. So, and they've got like the sustainable fuel or whatever. It's fine.
Yes,
Bring
I
back a
don't.
real engine.
Yeah, I had this argument online that
Of course you did.
part of the reason the manufacturers are there, right, is to pioneer new technology, and like I don't think manufacturers would be that as interested in taking part in F1 if they can't experiment with like energy recovery systems and things like that.
Yeah, but they don't have to make it so that the fucking cars don't go fast,
Yeah,
or go to like Formula E and
yeah, but it's
experiment with
different. I
that.
mean, Formula E is straight up using electric energy, whereas the F1 is
Yeah.
more about energy recovery from
Mm.
the either through like the turbo or through however they do it, the braking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's slightly different, right? Like
It's slightly different, but they could mess about with that in Formula E as well.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure they do.
Is there not like an endurance electric thing? You
There
could do something like that,
is, yeah, there is. I've never watched it, but
and then have that as like.
no, no. I mean, something has to be done. Like it's like people are unhappy about it, and now it's caused a crash. Something has
I
to change.
have seen maybe about 10 people online who actually have said that they like it, but a lot of them are like, I'm brand new, so that's probably why they like
Yeah,
it.
well, you don't like the super clipping. You don't really notice it watching unless you're on board.
That's because they don't fucking show
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh, that's the conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. I didn't see a car go through 130R the entire weekend on board. So, it's not a conspiracy. It's true.
Yeah, but I think people have mixed up. Well, like some parts of the rule change, like has given us the leapfrogging, which
Mm.
at least has made the races more interesting.
Yeah, but in the same way that in Formula E, this overtakes, it's
Yeah.
because no one wants to be in the front. It's that kind of, oh, there's a lot of overtakes. Yeah, because one person's got less battery than the other.
Yeah, well, they definitely follow a bit closer, and they do seem to be like someone pointed out some stat like from Suzuka last year. There was like basically no overtaking, like in the top 10 anyway. There was like one overtake or something. So
Yeah.
like it has given us something different anyway. Yeah,
I don't know what I'd prefer.
I mean we were spoiled that last season was really good,
Yeah.
and we actually had fighting. But if it had just been 4 years of Max winning by 30 seconds, I mean, we'd all be
Yeah, then that would have also been very
praising these new changes. So.
Yeah, but what's happened is that one team is somehow cheated and head and shoulders above the rest, but everyone else is like, no, this is terrible. Oh, I just don't know.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of time now. I think they'll have to do.
My
They'll have to do
my
something.
solution would say just bring back last year's cars again, do another year, and figure it out. But that wouldn't help Cadillac at all. So
Yeah.
if Cadillac hadn't come in, I reckon that would have been the solution. Just bring back last year's car.
And all the money they'd poured down the drain, basically making a new.
Yes. Yes.
Right, let us move on to Indycar,
Indycar.
where you don't get super clipping, as they like to
No.
tell us.
And the drivers have lots of fun driving.
Do they? I mean, this was probably
Well,
the
that's
worst
what Will
example
Buxton said.
they could have chosen.
Will Buxton said they were having loads of fun.
Yeah.
And I believe what he says.
Okay. Right. So, we had the children of F1. This was the children's of Alabama at the Barber. I don't know what you call it. Race course?
Barber Motorsport Park.
Yes. And yes, they kept telling us it was a big park with so many acres of land. And
yeah. It's in Leeds.
It's in Leeds.
Yeah. Leeds, Alabama, yeah.
They kept saying, like, it says, we're so glad you're here in Birmingham, Alabama. So,
yeah, it's like near Birmingham, but it's in Leeds. It said Leeds. And I was like, what are you doing? Just taking all our place names.
Yes. Well, let's talk about the practices.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing is Scotty Mack.
Yes, big crash with Scotty Mack.
Yeah, crazy crash where sort of skidded over the gravel. The gravel didn't slow him down at all, but launched him over the tyres.
Over the tyres and through the fence.
Through the fence, yeah. I mean, I think the safety of the cars, like, it wasn't actually dangerous. Well, I mean, the fence gives,
I think,
and like, so.
Yeah, the fence. If the fence didn't give, or if it was not a fence but a concrete wall, then it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
Like we see with IndyCar a lot, the crashes look bad, but they're not as bad. If you know what I mean? Because there's just a lot of fences and a lot of softer things to crash into rather than concrete barriers.
Well, staying on the subject of crashes, in Group 1 in the quali, big crash for Will Power.
He just went to go see the spider.
Yeah, that was that evil spider. It was like, yeah. So even though Will Power says he crashed in like pretty much every race weekend,
every single race weekend, yeah,
or at least had problems
he just either someone's tampering with his brakes, or
Marcus Ericsson.
Maybe, or Andretti brakes are different to Penske brakes. I don't know. But he's not getting along with the brakes.
Yes, he's had problems with them since the start. But this was just like a straight up failure, it seemed. That unless the way that he pumps the brakes is weird or something, I think that's what I'm just thinking. Mechanical failure.
Is it him not
pressing
down hard enough, or
can't be
doing it in a weird way? I don't know. But I mean, that was just a straight up failure.
Yeah. And so he just went straight on. Basically, couldn't like lock the fronts, but like no brakes in the rears, and just went straight head first, or like headlong into the barrier. He has good practice now in crashing because they had the camera, looking at him, and he moves his arms and puts them like exactly the right moment to not break his wrists or anything. So. He knows what he's doing. He's a lot of experience.
A lot of experience in crashing.
Yeah. But it did mean in Group 1 in the quali that basically, like, that brought out a red flag for a while, and then there wasn't a whole lot of time at the end. Basically, you could only do one lap.
Yeah.
Although they were saying that probably the soft only lasts one lap anyway, so it didn't really matter. And so we saw Palou, Lundgaard, Rahal, Armstrong, Rossi and Ferrucci make it out of Group 1. Dixon, Rasmussen didn't make it, which sort of maybe, I don't know, surprising. I mean, Dixon just disqualifying has not been great.
He hasn't been good this season, though.
Yeah. Group 2, well, it was mainly like noticeable that how fast Grosjean was. That nobody could have predicted that. Although he does have the lap record or something, so maybe.
I think he just gets along with Barber.
Yeah. So he was really rapid in his lap, and then got blocked by Stingray.
Yeah, Stingray.
But
God, he's good, isn't he? He looks in his mirrors. He moves out the way. He predicts where people are going to be. Oh, so good. Wait, no, he's actually the opposite of that. He's fucking useless.
Yeah, I can't imagine we'll see him next year.
So many times this weekend I've just been like, what is the point of Stingray, Rob? Genuinely.
Yeah.
He's so bad. It's like not even funny anymore how bad he is. Like, it was funny at the beginning because his name's Stingray.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm sick of this kid.
Anyway, Grosjean, he backs off that lap and then basically goes as fast the next lap. So
just does another one. So
it's pretty good for him.
Yeah.
So he makes it through along with Kirkwood, Malukas, Joe New, Marcus Ericsson, and Pato O'Ward. And the main ones who didn't make it, well, Scotty Mack, but like he's in a car that's sort of a spare car or something.
Yeah.
And VK, they said, had looked rapid, but they always say that and he never makes it. So.
I think they're being paid by like the Dutch government to say that. Because he's never looked fast or good this season. So I don't know who's paying him to say it.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean, at some point he will, like, because he does show pace occasionally. So
occasionally, but not this weekend.
No.
And if he does, it's usually in the practices, and it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just skip the Fast 12. There's nothing to say there. Fast 6. Now, there is some strategy going on here because they think it's going to be a red race. So some people say, like, give up their shot at the pole and just go out and use softs and save a sticker set of softs. So Kirkwood does that. I think Ray Hall does it as well.
Yeah.
So basically means Palou has, like, is gifted the pole. So he gets pole, Malukas second, Ray Hall third, pretty good.
Yeah.
Ed Armstrong, then Kirkwood, then Grosjean. Grosjean went off in the grass, and Kirkwood also kind of nearly went off. So
yeah,
they weren't challenging. Palou, this is my theory. I love having conspiracy. Palou has, like, basically he saves scums.
Yeah.
Like, in like computer games, like if something doesn't go your way, you just quit the game, reload it, and just keep doing it till everything goes your way. Because he's just gifted the ball. And well, we'll come to the race in a minute, but like just everything seems to go his way. Like
no, I just think he is the luckiest man in the universe.
Well, it's one of those.
He's the opposite of Fernando Alonso. He's the luckiest driver.
So the Spanish,
because they're both from Spain.
Spain keeps an average. It's just that.
Yeah. You have to have one really lucky one and one really unlucky one.
I mean, it could be it. I mean, would explain a lot of stuff. Right, let's get to the race. First, did you notice the slight change in the, well, what do you call it? The driver name thing. What do you call it?
No, I missed it. I was doing something else. And so, I missed.
I think what they've done is that, like, they've got them to record something a little extra. And then they show you that if they get into, like, the top 6 or something, right?
Oh.
So it was the same as normal, but then fucking Marcus Armstrong, he goes, Marcus Armstrong, Christchurch, New Zealand. I'm world class at Guitar Hero.
No, I didn't.
He did, yeah.
Oh my god. I'm also good at Guitar Hero.
You and Marcus Armstrong, yeah.
Oh, it's a shame he's got negative race, isn't it?
Same personality.
Same personality.
I mean,
that's rude. That's actually really fucking rude.
Well, I mean, I'm just going on the evidence.
I actually make people laugh.
Well, I'm laughing a lot at Armstrong. But, Then, do you want to explain full throttle? What were they called?
Full throttle?
Yeah, I didn't understand this.
That's what Will Buxton said, full throttle.
Yeah.
That was it. That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think he was just going mental.
Oh, okay. It's like, why?
Did you hear what they said about Scott Dixon?
No? What did they say?
That he was fuel saving on the formation lap.
No, was he?
Yes. And I just thought, typical fucking Scott Dixon.
Classic.
Of course he is. Classic Scott Dixon.
I love it. I really want him to win. I want him to win a race.
I want him to win a race as well. But he will do it in the most tedious way possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that he was fuel saving on the formation lap before the race had even started.
Perfect. That actually feeds into what I was going to say next, is that basically nobody knows the strategy here. So you don't know if it's 2-stop or 3-stop. Basically, the 2-stop only works if there is fuel saving and yellow flags and stuff. So no surprise Dixon is hoping for that. But then nobody knows whether it's a red or a black race. It literally is roulette. Like, do you go red or black? And yeah, well, I think even during the race, people didn't know either. So I mean, how are we meant to follow?
No, there was a bit where Jack Harvey was like, "Oh, it's definitely a black race," and then two pit stops later, a pit stop later, he was like, "Actually, it's a red race."
Yeah, I think basically after he said that, everyone who pitted put on the reds. So he was like, "Oh, I don't know." But yeah, none of the teams knew, and like the grid itself started half red, half in the softs, half in the hard tires. So like they didn't know either.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure in terms of pace. Like there doesn't seem to be much difference in the pace. Just that the reds go off quicker. That seems to be the only real difference.
Yeah, there's not that much.
It's quite hard to tell.
I wouldn't say there's it is hard to tell. It's the same as like F1 though. Is unless you have the data in front of you while it's happening, you don't know how much difference there is. Like with F1, we know there's a difference between soft, medium, hard because they tell us. But unless you had the data in front of you, you wouldn't be able to tell how much of a difference.
Yeah, but certainly the people who started on the softs, they didn't. It's not like they cut through the back. Then they basically. No. They had a little. They could go faster a bit, but not enough to actually make a lot of overtakes, which was a shame. Anyway, let's get to the start. And pretty clean start from everybody. Nothing mad.
Yeah, annoyingly clean for Indycar.
I know, exactly.
Not that I want to wish a crash on anyone.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of what you're there to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's that's why they have quite a big field. You need
more chance.
You need your stingray.
That's why they make them line up side by side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. They literally engineer it so that you can crash.
Yeah. So bad day for your drivers because
I know
award the bad start, and your enemy Lundgaard has quite a good start.
Lundgaard's not my enemy.
I don't know. I just assume.
He's not my op. Come on. He's just not Pato Award.
Okay.
And that's his fatal flaw.
Yeah, so Lundgaard has quite a good start. Award, loses a few places. And Lundgaard makes up quite a few places after that as well. He passes Ericsson, he passes Ferrucci. So whatever he's doing, he's doing very well. And actually last year he also did well at this track. He likes it because basically we know Palou, like he's really good at the race course, the racetracks. So basically most of the broadcast is like trying to find someone who'll challenge Palou.
Yeah, who can defeat Palou today?
Yeah, and at least they have to do the same thing now at the road courses and the ovals because Palou's quite good at them as well now. But at least there is a challenger. Whether it's like Newgarden or Kirkwood or whatever, but here it's like, please, somebody.
Someone.
Yeah.
Someone stop him, please.
But unfortunately, he goes off into the distance and has generated quite a large lead, relatively speaking, by the time we get to the first round of pit stops. But yeah, we get the people on the softs, they pit around lap 15 or so out of the 90. The hard guys can go to about lap 27, I've written down. And being on the hard at the start seems to be a huge advantage. Big overcut, because Lundgaard, he is rapid, but it does allow him to get up to P3 basically after the first rounds of pit stops. Good for him. Basically, nothing really happens. I mean, I'm sure there was stuff happening, but either they didn't show us or there wasn't much going on. But we get to the next.
There was nothing much going on.
Yeah, it was hard to tell because like a lot of the people that you normally see fighting for like a podium are fighting for like P13. So like Award and like Power and Newgarden and Scotty Mack, they're all down like at that part of the grid. Like so, maybe they were fighting, maybe they weren't, maybe there were passes being made. I don't know. But yeah, nothing really at the front end until. Well, we get the pit stops around 40-something laps, Palou pits, and he goes on old hard tyres.
Yeah.
So I think Chip Ganassi, Barry Wanzer, he's decided that basically the hard tyre is the one to be on.
Yeah.
And so even if you're on 10 old 10-lap old hards, it's still better than being on the soft. So that's their strategy. But Lundgaard, he goes for softs again, and he is rapid. Then, like, he is just chasing down Palou, and like suddenly everyone's excited that here we go, we have a challenger, because Lundgaard is like 0.5 seconds a lap faster or something, which you know, he is quite far. He is like I don't know what it is, 7 to 10 seconds behind. So it does take him a while to catch up, even if he is.
But he catches.
He does basically catch, yeah. And so this is really exciting, and then. Lap 65, Palou has to pit. And again, he goes used hards. And he comes out in traffic. So it looks like Wanza has screwed it up for the first time ever.
Crazy.
Because he comes out in the traffic and Schumacher's fighting him, Foster's fighting him, Hauger's fighting him. It's great.
I've written rookies, absolute heroes.
yeah.
Just how hard that Mick was fighting him was fantastic.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Hauger wouldn't let anyone past him, not even Palou. So yeah. So
you're like
heroes.
Palou, he's pitted a bit earlier. He's got stuck in the traffic.
Yeah, so
it's all set up. It's all set up. Lundgaard pits lap 69. Nice.
Yeah, nice.
But
not nice.
Not nice
for the McLaren pit team. Oh, they fucked it. They fucked it hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I have never felt so deflated. Yes. I mean, you know, you were saying that he's my enemy. He's not my enemy. I just don't want Palou to win. And this was like,
yes.
Well fucking done. Welcome back, Andretti number 26 pit crew. It's exactly how I felt every time with Colton Herta.
Yeah. Really, just something goes wrong with the rear right tire. They drop the car too soon. They have to pick it up again. They have to. It's just a big mess.
Yeah,
he loses
17-second pit stop.
Yeah, so it's about like 10 seconds slower than it should be, and he comes out. I mean, he's still P3, but he's fallen behind Ray Hall, and like there's no chance of catching Palou. We gotta hope that Palou, I don't know, someone puts it into the wall or something. It's not
makes
an
uncharacteristic mistake.
Yeah.
Which he can do.
He did it last year.
It has happened.
In, where was it, like Road America, I think it was, where Dixon won.
Yeah, so
but like Dixon was like right behind him, and it was like a really minor mistake. Like, here he could basically, you know, he could go and look at the spider.
He could go off track for like a minute, exactly.
And could go like do a lap around the spider, rejoin, and he'd still be fine, basically.
And he'd still be ahead.
But we do at least get to see Lundgaard trying to get back to P2, and he's fighting Ray Hall. And they're giving us the whole sub story of why is Ray Hall racing?
Why is he still here? He's doing it for his kids.
He's over the hill at 37, so why is he still here? And it's for his kids, so his kids might see him on a podium.
So his kids can see him on a podium.
So they're really laying this
I'll be honest, it got me for maybe a second. And then I remembered my other favourite hobby is seeing Graham Rahal cry. So
it's so mean.
So I really wanted him to not get the podium.
Oh, well, I mean...
Well, either way, he would still cry, I think. So...
Yeah, so... eventually, like, lap 87 of 90, Lundgaard does pass him.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of them, you know, had been using up all their push to pass. And it turns out Malukas has just been biding his time behind them. He's got 92 seconds of push to pass.
Insane.
Poor
by
Ray
the way,
Hall
just not needed to use it.
12 seconds.
8. I think he had like 8 seconds or something, and and Dave had like 60 something.
Oh, 90. He had 92 seconds.
Did he? Yeah, he had 92 when he just turned up, but like they were really close, and yeah,
and only 2 laps to go, so maybe you're thinking Ray Hall can hang on. Malukas, I think. He pitted quite early, so I don't think he had the fuel to actually use all that push to pass, which I think is why he was kind of hanging back earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he sees his chance to go. And well, I mean, Rahal does it. All his years of experience, he does it. Incredible.
Yeah.
He gets the podium. His kids, he can he can retire happy.
He can retire now.
Yeah. Not that I don't think he will, but yeah.
Probably not. But
so
yeah,
that's how it ends. Palou wins, of course. Lundgaard second, and Rahal, Graham, Rahal, he gets third. Then we got Malukas, Kirkwood, Armstrong, Dixon, Ferrucci, Ericsson, and Newgarden.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to steal a point made by Dr. Liz Goodwin. That's some randomer who wrote into Tom Gaymore,
yeah,
who does the UK kind of interstitials when the Americans take a break. They get him in to basically try to explain what's going on. But sometimes it's like, at one stage he was like reading out birthday greetings. That people
it was like, can you say happy birthday to my dad?
Yeah.
No, I want to know about the tyres, please.
Yeah, please talk. Yeah, at least talk about the race. Come on. But Dr. Liz Goodwin, she made the point that we see crazy differentials between teammates in this race.
Yeah.
So Palou wins, Dixon's down in that's P7. Lundgaard second, Award is down, not even in the top 10. Rahal third. His teammates, I think, were dead last.
Yeah.
Same with Malukas, at least, I guess, Newgarden down in 10th, but Kirkwood, well, I guess he's quite close to Ericsson, and Power just wasn't in it. So, yeah, interesting point. I think it means...
Is it, though? I think it's just driver skill.
No. Well, how can you say that without... Are you admitting Award? Yeah.
No, I think Pato's had a bad time.
Yeah.
I don't think the McLaren, I don't think their setup is consistent throughout all three.
Yeah, well, I think it points to that basically nobody had any clue how to do this race. So they didn't know the strategy, whether it was hards or softs, and they didn't know how to set up the car. I think maybe the weather changed a bit, it was different in all the practice sessions and the quali, and so nobody knew what they were doing, basically. So everybody had a slightly different setup, and it worked for some and didn't work for others. So
annoyingly, it worked for Palou because, like we said, he's the luckiest man in the world.
Yes, or as I've seen people make the point, is that it's not that Palou wins; it's that others lose. So
yes, well, that race was lost by Lundgaard.
Possibly, I'm not 100% convinced
by his pit crew.
That I think I'm not sure he would have come out ahead of Palou, and not 100% sure he would have passed, because
I don't know if he would have come back ahead, but I think he would have been able to pass.
Maybe. I mean, it took him a long time to pass Rahal, so I'm not 100% convinced, but yeah, I mean, he would have been fighting for the win anyway, and we were robbed of that. So, I mean, last week, 2 weeks ago, Kirkwood won despite the Andretti pit stops. I mean, here, Lundgaard's, let's say he lost because of, is it just Chip Ganassi? Are they the only people who practice pit stops?
Probably.
No, I mean, we know that, Penske, don't they always win the pit stop challenge at the Indy 500?
Penske, perfect. Yeah, they always win.
But in fairness, actually,
I don't think anyone else does. The thing is, McLaren are managed by Zach Brown, and I feel like Zach Brown doesn't give a shit about the pit stops. Knowing how lackluster they were in F1 last year as well.
Yeah.
I think maybe he needs to start concentrating on him just a little bit.
I mean, certainly they do seem a bit amateurish compared to the F1. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like IndyCars.
Yeah.
But, it does lead to situations like this.
It's just because there's less people on the different bits, though. Like in F1, you have 4 people to a wheel, don't you? So
it's just
more people
because
they
add
polished.
the fuel. The pit stop takes longer anyway, and I think that should be better because that should mean that they can take their time and get it right. But I think it also makes them a bit. They just assume they can do it, whereas I think in F1 they like practice it like thousands of times till it's like second nature, and they get it. They can do it in like less than 2 seconds. Anyway, yeah, it's odd that for like a pinnacle, one of the pinnacles of motorsport, to have this real amateur feel to it sometimes.
Yeah.
But as I said, I like it. I wouldn't change it, even if it means Palou winning all the time. Because, occasionally, somebody gets set on fire. So, it's great.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Speaking of which, Will Buxton made the same comment about burning sage to get rid of bad juju twice in the weekend. What an odd thing to say. I find it
Has he met a witch?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Like, has a witch recently come into his life?
Yeah.
Odd. Maybe his wife's into that. I don't know.
It was a weird thing to say.
It is a bit of a weird thing to say, yeah.
And to say it again. Maybe he's like, oh, nobody listens to. Or maybe it was like, in the internet, sometimes we get international feed and we hear them talking. And so he like trialed it on us. And then he was like, yeah, that was so good, I'm going to say it again. It was about a different thing.
Yeah, it was a good comment.
It was about, I think in one case it was like Will Power's car, they needed to get rid of the curse. And I think in the race it was about Newgarden, where he used to be really, really, really good at Barber, and then for the last 10 years he's been crap, so something's not good.
I feel like if the last 10 years you've been shit, you aren't really, really good at it anymore.
Yeah, but what, I mean...
Like, yeah, but the last 10 years...
Yeah, but how can you be good at something and then not... I guess that's life, but yeah.
Because things change in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's an entire decade.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the difference between like the 80s and the 90s, a lot changed between those two times.
Good. Let's finish on our usual features. So, yeah, let's ask it. Let's ask it the loaded way. Was it a waste of time watching the racing? Oh,
yes.
It's always bad when we get that answer.
I hate saying it, but yes, I shouldn't have woken up at 6 a.m. for the race. I wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
And Indycar was fine. Background noise.
Yeah, Indycar wasn't as good as usual, I would say. Yeah, okay. Then, do we have the actual driver of the day then?
Who won driver of the day?
I believe Oscar won it because...
Oh, of course he fucking did.
Yeah, well, basically for starting and finishing the race.
Yeah, well done. You started the race and finished it. Congratulations. I voted for Liam.
All right, okay.
But I can't think of anyone else, so I'm just going to say Liam.
I think if you don't give it to Graham Rahal, you're a heartless ghoul.
I am a heartless ghoul.
Yeah.
I wanted him to lose and cry.
Okay. Rahal gets it.
Okay.
And then, what about attack mode? Do we have one this week?
Well, it's not so much as attack mode as just me being sad and depressed about F1. So my attack mode, in quotation marks, is just how shit these regulations are and how it's making me not want to watch free practice, which used to be like, I used to watch every free practice session and be glued to it and make lots of notes and want to know more, and now I don't understand how these fucking things work. I don't understand why they do go so slow. I don't understand why quali isn't good anymore, and yeah, just kind of lost my love for F1. So I'm kind of glad that there's a break, to be honest. That's genuinely what I've written down, is that I'm really glad that there's a break and I don't have to watch it anymore.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Well, next week there's no racing over the usual series. So sounds like we're going to have to do a deep dive into Superclipping.
No, I don't want to.
I think next week we'll do the promised Drive to Survive special.
Drive to Survive.
Woo! I've got to watch all the episodes in the next week.
Watch Drive to Survive. I'm going to have to rewatch them because it's been a while.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, our email address is theoutsidelinepod@gmail.com.
We are also on Blue Sky at the Outside Line Pod.
Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.